What's going on?
Okay, you are too. It's too dark in there. We can't
Is it
see
too
your
dark?
cute little face.
Oh, that's never. Okay, give me one moment. Keep
Okay.
talking.
All right. Hey guys. I'm so sorry about earlier today. We do apologize, but it seems like StreamYard had a total meltdown. We appreciate Montana, Black Lavender. Thank you for leaving your comments in the chat. Oh my God. Hey. We
Who
apologize for what happened, even though it wasn't our fault. It was StreamYard. They had a
who
meltdown between them and Facebook.
who'd have thought Facebook would have affected everybody? I could see it affecting everyone who was streaming. We were streaming to Facebook, were we?
We couldn't, no, we had
Yeah,
nothing to do with them. But something happened with Facebook that impacted the server at StreamYard.
I could see it affecting everyone streaming to Facebook. That makes sense. But to affect the whole platform, y'all didn't get that right.
No, I listen, StreamYard is the devil. I said it. Not StreamYard, Facebook. Sorry. Facebook is the devil. That's why I don't go on there no more. Anyway, even people who were live streaming at the time, it got severed. So they thought they were live and it didn't, because if you look at Terrence
Uh
that
huh.
we watch, he was live. And the
Right.
last part of his video was not.
Oh, so on their end they show live, and it shows live on YT, but you're not really live.
I guess it got shut down or something
Oh,
like that midstream, mid live.
like 840.
So he was able to what did he say? He put something up on his community page and said that he was able to save it and he'll repost the live in its entirety
Wow.
later. But yeah, it was kind of crazy. Technology, it sucks. So, hello, everybody, and welcome to the commentary zone at night, late night edition.
Right?
Geez, thank you guys so much for coming in. We really appreciate it. And hello to everybody who's going to watch this on the replay crew, which is the majority of our people. We love ya. Thanks
Yes.
for showing up. As you enter the room, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, look, we need one more subscriber to get to 600. Can somebody just subscribe to us out of pity?
Not the pity, child. Not the pity.
Well, yeah, pity at this point. We just want to get to 600 to see how it feels.
Right?
So yeah, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, most importantly, tell a friend. Um, okay, guys. On the docket today, we have The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 6, Episode 13, GVO or GTFO. And then The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 2, Episode 4, Friendship Roulette. Mm.
Now with both shows, I Bravo. I figured out the formula. Ignore like the first 40 minutes of the show. Just watch the last 20. That's where everything was. That's
Right,
where
but it
everything was.
still wasn't everything because we've been waiting all season for this salad toss. And was that the whole fight?
But pretty much, yeah. There was
Okay.
nothing. There was nothing. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's making this thing like, oh my goodness, she's throwing food. I'm like, no, like, see, I'm sorry, like if she had thrown a dish or a fork or a spoon or some like faux good china,
She did toss some ornamentation at the very, very end. Like after the salad went back and forth, like I think they were birds on they were like goldish color.
mm,
And they were like decor on top of that island thing, and those went flying.
gotcha. But it wasn't, to me, it wasn't that big of a deal. To be completely honest, it was just the whole petty back and forth. But we'll talk about it.
I thought it was reminiscent of the scenario that happened with Monique, just with like the hands in the face, and then who, but who started it was reversed this time. I don't know. There's something. She just doesn't like Ashley, period, and her husband, and she's venomous about that. And I feel like the same venom is being applied to Mia.
But my whole thing is this is not to be rude, but Mia is quite the statuesque woman with quote unquote big feet, and she loves her big feet. I mean, it wouldn't take all she got to do is lift her foot and step on Candace because Candace is a petite woman. So I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be rude or mean. And my thing is, because I'm sorry, Mia works out. Mia lifts. You can see Mia like lift weights. She just ain't toned.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I mean, she could pick up Candace, go Candace against the wall if she really wanted to, and production couldn't get there fast enough because there was too close proximity.
But is it bad of me that, okay, every time that someone mentions Mia's big feet now, I'm going to see that scene where Mia is walking down the hallway of this house and Candace is saying her big feet are breaking the foundation
Foundation.
of the house. That's all I'm going to imagine now.
It's
And I
just
don't think we
weird.
can hold her big feet against her because, like you said,
No,
she is a tall, statuesque woman. She's
yeah,
not going to have a size 6 foot. She'd
right.
fall over. I'm
And I
just
find it
saying.
interesting. I think with this episode, we might want to go character by character since they had distinct roles.
Okay, yeah. So who you want to pick on first?
I mean, Giselle, because she didn't do nothing.
Okay, this is my feelings with regards to Giselle and Robin, and I'm going to lump these two together in this instance. Giselle and Robin saying that they're not coming to the trip. Can y'all afford not to get paid for this episode? Because I heard you don't get paid if you don't go on the trip, unless of course you're pregnant and
Right,
medically can't go, right? So can y'all afford it? Giselle's in mid
right.
construction, and so is Robin,
Robin,
and about to be a single mom again, in my
exactly.
opinion.
And it's just the thing with them is and I won't say them. In this instance, I like Robin, not with Giselle, and I've always said that. Like, because Robin makes she's more rational when she's
Mm-hmm.
not around Giselle. She makes a lot of sense,
Mm-hmm.
and what she's saying about her relationship with Wendy makes total sense. She feels that Wendy does not like her. I understand. We see it. Wendy's not saying it, but we see it, and I think what Robin's not really getting is that what people are doing is they're holding her friendship with Giselle against her because she doesn't really openly tell Giselle when she's wrong. I mean, openly, like in front of the group. She just doesn't do it. And there's one thing to be a really good friend, ride or die. It's another thing standing up for right and wrong. And she doesn't stand up for right and wrong enough to where the ladies feel comfortable to where they can separate the two. That's why she's always lumped with her.
Mm-hmm.
Think if you think about it, the ladies have taken to Scala, who's supposedly your friend, more than have
That's
taken
not
to you.
Robin friend. That's not Robin
What?
friend.
Well,
Like,
that's
we
what it.
gotta stop doing this.
That's the way they put it on
Producers
TV.
and producers are shady as piss with this because they know that ain't Robin friend. They threw Robin a bone and Robin dropped the bone as usual. It, it amazes me. That's your friend, and you shaded her like that at the first getaway when Candace hosted that trip. You shaded her like that. That's supposed to be your friend. This is why nobody likes Robin.
Mm, yeah,
Do you
Robin needs to
really
focus.
think that Karen and Mia are real friends? No. But Karen is playing her
I
part.
mean, yes. I mean, like I think they're like friendly. You know what I mean? They're like
Friendly,
friendly, but not like
but
friends. Not
remember,
like
this is supposed
friends.
to be the what do they call it? The friend circle?
Right.
Karen plays her part.
Well,
Robin does
Karen
not.
understands the assignment though.
And this is why we don't like Robin.
Karen understands the assignment. She carries out the assignment. But let's be
Mm-hmm.
real. Karen has the experience on Robin. Let's be honest. She got like 20 years experience. she's not new to this. She's true to this.
But they've been on this show the same amount of times, and you feel like Robin don't know the ropes by now. Is she
But
that just? Well, I'm connected to Giselle, so nothing will happen to me.
Karen's a businesswoman though. That's the thing. Karen's like a tried and true businesswoman. So she's always looking at the assignment first. She's always looking at, what do I need to do to make this good, and she doesn't.
This is true,
Robin's
Montana.
dependent. Robin's dependent. Karen's independent. That's the thing.
So basically, she went from Juan's payroll over to Giselle's payroll.
Yeah, because remember, like her and Robin came. See, you have to remember, her and Robin came on as a package deal, and we can't forget that every other lady came on independently.
Who was the lead housewife in this? You know, like how Kyle was the one who
Um,
recruited and Nene recruited.
alleged, allegedly Giselle.
Get out of here.
Yeah, allegedly, like Giselle. These are Giselle and basically Giselle and friends. It's the best way I can put it. I mean, it's just the best way I can put it for you.
Giselle and friends, and these
And then Ashley.
are friends. Oh, and then Ashley. So
Right.
Ashley came from nowhere.
Ashley. Okay, so what it was, season one, Ashley was in a. They met Ashley within a group of ladies. I think Giselle was hosting some kind of event or gathering, and that's how Ashley got introduced to us. I believe Ashley was introduced to us episode 2.
Ashley was recruited from Say Yes to the Dress, and so was Monique, and so was Megan from OC. And
But they
who
made it,
else?
so
Wouldn't you love it if Megan came back to OC?
yeah.
Sorry, I went off topic. Hold on. Let me look back at my damn notes. Who are we talking about?
We were talking about Giselle and Robin.
See, when we don't go segment by segment, I feel like like I forget stuff. But
Okay,
okay.
let's go segment by segment. Go ahead. We'll do it that way.
Um. All right. So Mia, they're packing. Everyone is packing to go to Chesapeake Bay. Um. Gordon is not happy about this trip at the beginning. And I kind of understood him because like he doesn't really know these people. Like he went to one thing at Karen's house and I felt like he thought it was boring.
Agreed. But remember, he's older than these ladies as well.
I don't think it got
So
nothing to do with his age. I just think he a
I was trying to be respectful, but no, he did meet his second and third wife at the strip club, so I'm not gonna judge. Just
oh my
saying.
god. So then we see Candace and Chris talking, and they're talking about the video. They have some sort of arrangement where they don't talk about business after a certain time,
Five
which I
o'clock.
think is, yeah, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't 5 o'clock, and he was already drinking, and it seemed like it was a product placement in Ode to Andy and Maker's Mark. I hope y'all at least get a case of it out of this. Um, let's see. She tells him about the couples trip, and he's looking forward to hanging out with Dre, which is Pascal's husband. Have we ever seen her husband on the show?
I'm not sure. I don't. I
Mm-hmm.
want to say we saw him briefly, like real briefly,
Okay,
like in
because
like
then
a flashback or a
right,
cutscene or something like that.
saw a little clip of them on a double date together, so it seems like
Yes.
they're getting along well. Okay, so then it pops over to Ashley going over to Robin's house, and I guess we find out from Robin that her new house is delayed, but she thinks that they'll be in 2 months. So it's delayed, it's over budget, and hopefully they can make the mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Robin tells Ashley about Mia's mom and their history. So not all of the women know about this situation. So I think
Mm-hmm.
just Giselle, Robin, and Karen probably know
Right.
the dynamics, and the rest don't. So it's filtering down. Um, This is where we find out about the group chat, the Flossie.
Flossy Posse? Is it Flossy Posse?
I have no idea. Some stupid name. Um, and apparently, the invitation for the Chesapeake Bay trip was sent through this group chat. Giselle wrote back, which we're seeing clips of Giselle with her hairdresser and or stylist, and
Mm-hmm.
she's typing out her response that she doesn't feel welcome and it's rude. The invitation is rude or something like that. And she goes, send. He goes, you hit send?
That was hilarious to me. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. And it's also
That was hilarious.
convenient how they showed that clip with her stylist getting her hair done. And then later on in the episode, you see Ray referencing the same stylist.
Right.
Um, and Robin also says, like what you said earlier, that she feels uncomfortable going on the trip because she feels like Wendy doesn't like her and is disrespecting her relationship. Well, how'd you get that? So
She
Robin
only
doesn't
said
understand any part that she plays in this.
no. Even though her part is minuscule compared to Giselle's, it's still she still plays a part.
Do you think Wendy was wrong for saying what she said to Robin in the heat of the moment?
Oof. Here's the thing. I'm all for giving people grace and stuff when they're mad. I really believe it. But when you say things like that when you're mad, that means you've been thinking it the whole time.
Well, we all have.
Well, that's the truth. But if we're not friends with these people, so
Mm-hmm.
I could care less. But if this is your friend, if you're true friends, you don't say things like that. Like my people I
Mm-hmm.
consider good friends, which is like very, very few. I would never say anything like hurtful like that about their relationship, especially not within mixed company. That's another problem.
Mm.
To me, like a Scala, Mia, y'all don't know them like that. It still mixed company. So you've been thinking when you've been thinking about when he's been looking down on Robin for a minute. Let's just call it thing a thing. I think that's the crux of the issue is
Mm-hmm.
that Robin has been made to feel like she's less than, and she's allowed Wendy to do that to her.
But haven't we been feeling that all 6 years?
Well, it's more within the past 5 years. It's more been like Robin is Giselle's puppet. That's one thing, but no one's made Robin to feel less than or not good enough the way Wendy has.
What do you think about what Montana said? Giselle needs Robin more than vice versa, except financially.
Yes, because without Robin, Giselle has no allies. Zero.
You mean she doesn't have her linebacker, her defensive end,
Yes,
her forward?
basically, Robin is Giselle's Lisa Renna, playing that defense. Like how Lisa plays defense for Erica, like
Mm-hmm.
especially this season. I hire Lisa for defense because she deflects and reflects and shields and bobs and weaves. I mean, she got some moves.
Mm-mm. I don't know. You jump into something that has nothing to do with you.
Hmm.
Best be careful what comes out of my mouth, especially if I'm
Yeah,
hot.
that's the thing. That's why you don't you can defend your friends up until a point, but you don't jump in with both feet. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and not expect to get the same treatment, if not worse.
If I'm not involved with anything with you, just stay over there. That's all. Wendy's excited about the trip. Her mom is taking care of the kids. Flossie Posse. That's the name of the chat.
Hmm.
Eddie looked cute this episode. Did he do something different? Or maybe it's because
Probably
he was smiling or something. Like,
right. He was. They weren't having serious conversations.
okay, he
You
just
know what I
looked
mean?
so cute. He looked like his little sons. I ain't gonna, especially that wicked one. I think it's the middle kid. He's super
Oh,
wicked.
he's hilarious.
Oh my god. Okay, so never mind. Karen is waiting for Ashley. Ashley comes to the house. They're driving down to the Chesapeake or over or wherever to the Chesapeake together. Have they ever gone any place together? Like I usually associate Ashley with the Green Eyed Bandits. I don't usually see her with Karen.
I don't think they have. I think they've. I think they've gone to lunches together, but not trips. They never like gone to trips because who went with? No, remember? I want to say it was Ashley went with Giselle when Karen went to visit her family a season or two ago. That's why, if I recall correctly,
Mm.
because Ashley made the comment of like we get to see where the Grand Dame comes from, and then she also mentioned that she was surprised that Giselle was invited. So I think that's the last place they've gone together.
Hmm. Okay. Um, Ray is helping everybody with the luggage to the car. He is actually coming the next day. He's not going with them
Hmm.
today. Um, we get to this house. It's a 7-bedroom house.
Yes,
Wow, it's big. And it's a pretty
huge.
view out onto the bay. I will say that she did good. Okay, so me and Gordon arrive, and they're like, "Where the valet at? Why everybody think that there's a valet at a private VRBO?"
Right.
Gordon was messy when he came in and gave the keys to Eddie, saying that he want his underwears folded a certain way.
Yeah,
Gross.
I cussed you out too.
Gross. But Eddie was better than me because he invited them to go and do shots.
We're the hosting, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And this is where we find out that Mia has left her kids for the first time with her mom.
That was kind of cool. She was nervous, but I still think it's cool. It's building the relationship.
Shouldn't you start off with like babysitting after school for an afternoon and slowly build
I
up to
would.
several days away? What
I
is
mean, I
going
would have. I was kind
on?
of shocked that when she said she left him with her mom. I was like, okay.
I hope them kids don't. Never mind. Let me keep that to myself. Um, so when Mia explains that, she's a little nervous, she might be calling home, it's the first time that she's leaving them with her mom. Wendy says, "Oh, my kids are with my mom, but do you mind me asking why is it the first time?" And Mia shares her story with her. And Wendy, you could see in Wendy's face, like, wow, she's seeing a different side of Mia, even though she's had conflict with her during the season. She sees a different side to her, and she can feel for her because she knows how close she is with her mother.
Mhm.
So I thought that was very nice. Ashley pumps everywhere. What is the point of her pumping now? Like, how long can you keep breast milk on the fridge to take home to the baby?
I was wondering myself. I was like, she's very, she's very like she's on her pumping schedule though. She does not play no games.
Unless she's like was like too full and had to like pump and dump.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because if
I've
she
heard
drinks this weekend, she has to pump and dump.
because I've heard that somewhere on another channel they're talking like yeah sometimes women would quote unquote over lactate. I
Hmm.
guess is what it is, and then you have to just pump it and let it go, pump it. I'm like, good grief.
I wonder if the baby's still not eating because remember it had that problem with
Latching.
yeah. So
Mhm.
maybe the baby's not eating enough. I don't know.
Mhm.
Who knows? I think you can freeze breast milk. Yes, I've heard this
Oh,
too. Yes,
I did
because
not know
you
that.
could sell your breast milk, put it
Yes.
on ice and ship it.
That makes sense.
Um, and yes, I agree with you, Montana. The show was much more interesting with the men. Just like I had my mouth open throughout that whole Gordon scene. Thank God I wasn't in the room. Oh, Candace and Chris arrive. Um, Wendy announces the GVO theme, giving
Good vibes
good
only.
vibes only. Good vibes only. Okay. And Candace introduces her follow up with GTFO, and we won't say what that is, but you can guess what it is. Um, we see Wendy dropping it like it's hot, which introduces the strip club conversation. And
Mm-hmm.
Gordon, I was ew. And the humping, and then the thing, and ew. He's like 94 years old. What is he doing?
So for me, this is just for me. I'm not a fan of getting drunk and people around people you don't really know. It's just not for me. It's not a good look. And you're on like international TV, and you're a business owner. I'm just not a fan of it. No, you look real crazy like that. I'm sorry, and it has nothing to do with age. It's just anybody shouldn't be acting that way.
I somehow feel like we give a little leeway to like 20 something year olds who do this.
Mm-hmm.
But when I see someone like Gordon and doing this, um, and he just came over as like a nasty old man.
And you know what it is? I think this may not be the right sentiment, or like it may be kind of how can I put it? It may not resonate with everyone or everyone that I feel this way. But when I look at Gordon, I always think of someone's grandfather. Like you're someone's grandfather, you're someone's father. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's just I think we hold our seniors, our elders, in such high self esteem. We're like, you should know better than act this way, particularly on camera. What you do off camera, okay, all good. We ain't got to see it. But when you are doing this on camera, it's like, no, mm
Yeah,
mm.
it was kind of, I didn't like it.
And then when
I'm
you put
not being
him and
rude or anything,
then you
but
put him and Mia together, it was even more cringeworthy to watch.
she
Because
kind of
for
ignores it.
she did no, she says she does. She just lets him be him.
Okay. So why did Candace ask him if his pee still works?
But you didn't like somebody asking your mama if your husband was if you were paying your husband. Kind of hypocritical in my opinion. Because you don't know the person well enough to ask that question. If that makes sense, that's
Yeah.
completely inappropriate. Like, I think, and I'm not unsure why, but like Candace is allowed to cross lines that others are not, and that's my thing.
Well, there's also a problem too. She crosses these lines, and when she faces the backlash, she forgets conveniently that she crosses the lines.
Mhm.
There's a cause and effect that she just doesn't. She, I don't know. Anywho,
Mhm.
Wendy's face is priceless when he gestures about his
Mhm.
thing. And Eddie gave the look of the night when Gordon bent down to pick up something and was having a little balance issue.
Yes.
Eddie's face was priceless.
That was just it was just too funny.
So the men seem like they're going out towards the patio or something. Anyway, Gordon winds up behind Dre, and Dre is like a football player. He's
Mhm.
tall, he's big, he's built. And he calls Dre, a big MFer. Does he know him?
I don't think so.
Oh, good lord. Dre seems like one of those like big but silent types.
Right.
We need one of those on this cast. Oh my god. Um, Gordon, we see Gordon outside somewhere on the phone. Apparently, it's with the car dealer. He comes back inside and gives Mia the phone, and it's their 8th anniversary present. A G wagon, I guess. After him, he thinks it's really creative, but he also tells her to shut the f up. Is this
Yeah,
how he
no.
gives presents?
It sounds like it.
Okay, so Escal and Candace go upstairs to check out the rooms. She says that Gordon reminds her of Michael. What is her
Mm,
problem with these men and their wives?
I don't get what the problem is with. I mean, how can I put this nicely? I think Candace's issue is that these men can give their wives the lives that she wish she could have. I'm sorry.
But she had a choice not to marry Chris and all his baggage. No one handcuffed her and at gunpoint to do that.
Nope. But you can just tell like she does not like that. Like she feels they have the life and the money that she deserves. Or at least that's the way it comes across to me. I could be wrong, but
Okay.
that's just the way it comes across to me.
I always wondered about that because her attacks on Ashley with like the milkmaid, the bed wench, um it, never mind. I'm gonna keep those thoughts to myself. I'm gonna keep those thoughts to myself because they don't lead anywhere good. Um they all go upstairs. Wendy joins them. They're talking about Mia
Hmm.
and her husband, and Wendy just wants this to be like a really good weekend. She doesn't want any issues. Mia comes in. They admit to her that they were talking about her. Um, it goes back to the low budget thing. She's going back and forth with Candace. Ascala actually makes a good point in this nonsense. And she goes, "Why does everything have to be about business with you?" You know? And she's right. Like I feel like Mia and Candace are basically the same one trick pony. Mia relies upon being this supposed boss and sort of an elitist, or wannabe elitist, and Candace, she just insults her big feet, or what else does she say about her botched plastic surgery?
Her
Like, mhm.
her something about her butt and her botched clitoris.
Right. You know, she's a good wordsmith. I'll give her that. But it seems like she's stuck on repeat. And I would like her
Hmm.
to be a little bit more creative than the Yo Mama comebacks.
Right, those are old, and you don't do yeah, when you grow up into adulthood, you don't do that because yeah, it can go real. Because when you meet your match, it goes real left real quick.
But she never used to be like, I feel like this season she is dull. Like she's just phoning it in. Or am I wrong? I thought she was a better wordsmith than this.
Mm-mm,
No?
mm-mm. Because okay, and this is I had to explain this as well. In my opinion, a true wordsmith doesn't have to go below the belt. If
Mm,
you are a true
true.
wordsmith, it can read you with the truth.
You lay down the facts.
You put out the fact, and it is what it is. But when you have to go gutter and when you have to rely on like coming from somebody's lugs, husband, kid. You have to take low blows. Like, yeah, you're not as smart as you thought you are.
Okay.
Like, if someone
Mm-mm.
comes at you, you should be able to at least come back with something similar. Like what how Robin did with Giselle. No, how Karen did with Giselle at the reunion. Sorry.
Oh, is Jamal here?
Yes.
Is Jamal coming?
Is it coming?
Is he coming?
So stuff like that, you just lay out the facts as they lay. Because the truth, because like growing up, I was always told the truth will hurt you more than any lie.
Mm-hmm.
And there's enough
Mm-hmm.
out there to do that. Like when she, like for example, if Candace called, um, when Candace called Mia's mother low budget, and Mia could just say, what? Speaking of mothers and budgets, how's that mortgage coming along? Are you making it? Are you good? Like that's kind of how it should go.
Jesus.
When someone opens a door, you should be able to come through it, but in a respectful,
Mm-hmm.
factual way.
Yeah, true. I agree with you. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so um Mia kind of gets a call. I didn't hear the phone ring, but she
Me
said it
neither.
was one of her rich friends calling, and they under her rich friends understand her and not these broke bitches.
Yeah, I was like, ugh, why?
And then Candace fires back with, "Your mama's a broke bitch."
I mean, that's like I just completely overlooked that. I'm like, no.
Like a lot of their back and forth, I stopped listening to
Yeah,
because it was just boring. Sorry to say that.
it wasn't going anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Karen and Ashley arrive, and Ashley got a big old picture of her family. She should have kept that in the suitcase,
Correct.
or kept it in her phone. Whatever. Wendy's announcing the rooms, but I thought earlier Wendy said that they could go upstairs and pick rooms, but now she's shifting it. What I did like though is that she's giving gift baskets to everyone in their room with items from Black-owned businesses, including her one wick
Candle,
candle.
candle. You better get that product placement. See. Good job,
Mhm.
Wendy. You learn.
Mhm.
And you're stealing the right way.
Yep. Well, and she's
Karen,
learning from Karen.
yeah, product
Mhm.
placement.
Mhm. Um, she lets the ladies who were assigned to the cottage crew, pick their rooms first.
Fair. I like
And
that.
Candace winds up being last and is butt hurt about it.
Yep.
Oh my god. Let's see. How did we get on to Candace telling Mia that she needs therapy? Because that was the beginning of the final altercation with the salad.
I'm sure it's like, some more of the whole back and forth. I can't remember. But with those, you know what it is. I started tuning them out after the second little spat. I'm like, this is not going nowhere.
Well, I heard bits and pieces. So she needs therapy. Um, this starts off in the kitchen. The men are out on the porch. All I heard was, "Where is your pimp?" Um, and Candace is still going on her about her mom. And that's when Karen and Ashley actually try to come over and say, "Candace, stop doing that. Stop talking about her mom."
Right.
And I think that just amps her up because it's more people attacking her. I think she feels in her head.
Mhm.
At this point, I didn't think that she was very rational, and she was just fighting for fighting's sake.
I think she's upset because Mia wasn't responding and getting all emotional. Mia
Yeah,
stayed pretty
Mia
much
was
calm.
kind of ignoring it and just like
Yeah.
walking around a lot. And then she kind of turned it back on her and was like, "Hey, pimp, pimp, come here, pimp." And then Candace tells Gordon, "Can you tell your wife to shut the F up like you did before?" I was like, "What?"
Yeah. She was getting frustrated because she She was getting frustrated because there was no.
She wasn't getting the response.
Yeah, it was. She had nothing to feed. Mia wasn't not giving her anything to feed off of. And when you're fighting with someone, that's what you want. You want reaction.
So, was she trying to get a reaction like last year's reaction? I mean, look, have you not learned any lessons?
No.
What am I dreaming? Why are you dreaming, Kiki? We're here. We got bumped from earlier. StreamYard was broken for a couple of hours. We see Candace tossing like a leaf of lettuce, asking her if she wanted something and to eat or something. And Mia comes back and winds up tossing like half of the bowl of salad at her. And then what I saw at the very, very end was these little statues or something like that, that decorative pieces that were on the table.
Gotcha.
They were gold, and one went tumbling down. And I think one of the ladies caught it at the edge of the island. But yeah, this was just a whole on mess. And I wish someone would tell Candace this kind of behavior isn't fun.
Yeah, no.
It's not entertaining.
Not at all.
Aw, thanks for being here, Kiki. Thanks to everybody for being here so late. You know, and this is a rough one, but we couldn't let the day go by without giving you this information. All right, so this was the episode. Like you said, the bulk of it was at the end. But it was entertaining. I liked it.
Most definitely.
Sunday nights on Bravo so far is pretty strong.
They gonna mess it up eventually.
Oh my God. Jamal.
What are you saying? Because shows are coming back, so
What shows are coming back?
let's see, Atlanta. Oh, you know what? Atlanta's gonna be interesting because normally Atlanta should be filming by now, and
Right now, yeah.
normally they remember last year they pushed it up to November. I wonder if they're gonna push it back this year.
Well, no, they were filming from September because the August or September, because they were supposed to finish in October with the wedding, but they had the wedding and it was like a weather issue. They couldn't get the film that they wanted. Remember, they extended it into November for a couple of weeks.
Okay, but normally Atlanta's previews the first week in December, so they actually moved it up. So I wonder how this is gonna go.
I heard that they pushed it back to 2022.
So they officially pushed it back. I was looking for alerts and hadn't seen anything.
Well, I think that they have started a little bit of filming with Kenya, because someone found something with film crews in Kenya. So I think that they're going to get a bit of her on Dancing with the Stars, since she really never has a storyline other than attacking Portia. And now Portia's not there.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name? Drew could be the new target.
Probably.
Yeah.
Meh.
Yeah. Who cares? Anywho, let's go to the Hags, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Sorry about that, y'all. Season 2, episode 4, Friendship Roulette. Okay. We opened up with a bang and we ended off with another bang. I loved it.
This was good. This was good.
All right. So before we start, I did not believe that Jen threw away a $70,000 diamond bracelet.
No, quit playing.
She did not. That wasn't real. Lisa, get your life. You always for digging for shit in the snow, because you was digging for your husband watch or something like that, and now you digging for this. Not even Stuart was fazed by that. So girl, stop. Anyhow, we pick up the episode where with the big fight at the ice fishing, right? Lisa, for some reason, is going after Meredith, really trying to broker peace here. I do not know why.
Because
Whitney,
I can explain that. It's because she wants her life to be easy. She doesn't want to be in the middle of their fighting, even though she put herself in the middle by befriending Jen.
I was about to tell you she doesn't have to be in the middle.
Correct. Yes. That's what all that is to make her life easier. Which she says in the end, towards the end of the show, if I recall correctly.
Whitney and Heather, they are trying to explain this mess to Jen, but Jen is in her rage. And she's just not hearing anything other than the voices in her head. And it's just a mess. Lisa and Jen start arguing, basically. Heather and Whitney are sitting on those little chairs, and they are hysterical. They are looking. They're like, oh, no, she's grabbing Jen's bag, so she can't leave. Oh, who was it? I think it was Heather who said, I would go over to that part of the ice, but I lied about my weight and I don't want to fall through. I love it.
But she was hilarious. Because when Lisa took the backpack, she's like, oh, she took her backpack so she can't leave. That was very smart. Very smart. Those two had me dying.
They were like commentators at like a sports game.
Yeah.
You know? They were giving the play-by-play and some colorful dialogue in between. I loved it. Whoever's a production company for this show this time around, you're getting off to a really good start. Really good start. Jen is screaming that she's defending her effing vagina. From Brooks.
That's what I was like, okay.
If you say so. Then she tosses her bracelet. Heather goes looking for it, winds up giving it to Stuart. Stuart comes in almost like the dog whisperer, not calling Jen a dog, but it seems that he has a way of speaking with Jen. And Jen listens. Like, that's the only tone of voice that she listens to. Because he calmed her down somewhat and got her to go over and apologize, which none of these other ladies could.
You know what Stuart did, though? Every time she would try to deflect, he would cut her off, but he did it in a calm way. He would be like, no, this is what it is. This is what you have to do. He cut her off, but he just wasn't letting her get away with it. He's like, what happens when we argue? This is what happens. XYZ. Keep it moving. So that's why she calmed down.
It almost felt parental.
Yes.
You know what? Those kids that are tantrum, they throw tantrums, and you don't get into the tantrum with them. You just talk them through it in a flat voice. Oh, how much does he get paid?
Well, he's the number one assistant, so I'm sure he gets paid a pretty penny.
That's a lot of bullshit to deal with on a job. I don't know if I could do it. Jen said she's tired of apologizing to everyone. Well, then stop fucking up.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Anywho, oh God. So eventually Jen goes over to Meredith and she says that she's sorry. Meredith says thank you. Jen says that she'll handle it with her people regarding the social media thing. They hug. Meredith doesn't believe that the behavior will stop, which I agree with Meredith.
Right.
Jen tells Meredith that she would also like to say sorry to Brooks directly if possible. And Meredith said that would help. I think both of them could do well with apologizing to each other. Just saying. Brooks is not without blame in this whole situation, too. All right.
Right.
So we see let me tell you something. We see Mary at home trying to cook with her eggs and talking with them and stuff like that.
That was hilarious. I'm sorry. That was too funny. She was talking. She was really talking to the eggs too. They could do something for her.
Yes, yes. But I like her natural hair. Now that I see it in comparison to the wigs, I really do
Hmm.
like her natural hair. It's cute. Um, I think the wigs age her. But that's just my opinion. Let's see. Jen and Stuart are walking the dogs, and he's making Jen pick up the poop.
That was too funny. He's the assistant, but um, she's picking up the poop. That was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Mermaid in the ICU. Yeah, we're doing a one-off really late live because StreamYard messed us up earlier. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And what? Jen yells more than Samuel L. Jackson? Black Lavender. Hot mess. Um, we see Lisa going to visit Sarah Jane and Angie. Did we ever like these two women looked very similar to me, and I couldn't tell if either one of them was the blonde hair lady from last season.
I want to say it was Sarah
Sarah
Jane.
Jane?
For some reason, I thought Sarah Jane was at the event that
Was she
Lisa
the
or
drunk
Mary threw.
lady?
No, that was no. That
Oh,
was Sarah.
that was just Sarah.
Right.
Oh,
I
okay.
want for
So,
some reason I think I think it was Sarah Jane who said she was in a few scenes last season.
mm. Salt Lake City seems to have a lot of interchangeable people for me. Okay, so I don't remember her or Angie. But anywho, there's this conversation about fast food. I don't know how any of these women, like, I don't think I eat that much fast food, but they eat it all the time. Breakfast, lunch, and
Yeah.
dinner. They should be bigger. Life,
So they
my
were
life sucks.
so okay. So here's where I found it. So this is from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Twitter. It says get to know Angie Harrington and Sarah Jane Warner, brought in by Lisa with ties to Whitney and Heather. Both were in season one briefly. That's so yeah. We did see them.
Okay.
That's why they look familiar.
All right. Well,
I like
interchangeables.
them though.
I did too. I did
I
too.
like them.
I liked what is it, Angie's backstory, because she's the one who's throwing this big party that we see at the
Mhm.
end. It is a fundraiser for an LGBTQA plus community charity. And their middle child or their second child is
Mhm.
a transgender? No.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, is yes. But they didn't
Which
provide any pronouns.
correct.
So it's not that I'm being disrespectful. It's just that I don't,
They just said
yeah,
what it is the way
they
they
kept it
presented
very
it to us.
vague.
Yeah, they said
Hmm.
we have a transgender child,
Yeah.
and I'm not I can't recall if they say pronouns, but I'll leave it. We'll just leave it there. They kept it vague, which is kind of cool, and I love the fact that she said we're not Mormon currently because until our child can have the same rights we do,
Hmm.
we don't think it's for us.
Right.
And I thought that was fantastic.
I also thought the comments that Jen made coming into the party was very interesting, that they live within the Mormon zone, like a stone's throw away from the temple
Two
or
blocks,
whatever. Yeah.
two blocks from BYU. She said.
Yes. And they had alcohol, they had gambling, and it was an LGBTQ benefit. Like, big problems to be within a
Hmm.
stone throw of the big university and
But
in the
Angie,
zone.
but Angie said the interesting thing is Angie said, the Mormon community is not all the way there yet, but they are coming along. So that was good to hear.
Well, that means at least they're open.
Yes.
At least they're open. So at this little get together before the big event, um, we find out that Angie and Whitney share a great 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 grandfather.
Yes.
So technically, they're cousins, which Whitney is cousins with everybody in this town.
That's what she said.
Hmm. And Lisa doesn't like it because Lisa thinks that Angie is her friend of 20 years. And I guess she feels she can dictate who she's friends with.
Correct. And basically how she wondered how they've been friends so long, and how Angie can like befriend Whitney
Hmm.
and hurt her this way.
Hmm.
I'm like, well,
It's
they're
unreasonable,
family.
though.
It is, but like, they're family. So what are you talking about?
You know what? And then she goes around and she says, "I can't preach to people who they can be friends with, but
Right.
yet you are."
Exactly. A smidge of hypocrisy there. Just a smidge. That
Interesting,
much.
interesting. So then, um, we go to Mary cleaning up the kitchen. Why wouldn't her son say anything? Is he uncomfortable being on camera? Is she
Right. It's
forcing
just
him?
that's just odd.
That was a weird scene. I didn't get
It was
it.
awkward. It was just awkward, and I didn't understand what the point was.
Yeah. So Meredith comes over. She had a vampire facial,
Mhm.
and Mary is not for that.
No, I was kind of with Mary on that one.
It just looks painful.
It sounds painful, yes.
You know, the first one that I saw to have it was one of the Kardashians. I saw the
Mm.
actual procedure, and they
Mhm.
just looked
Red.
abused afterwards.
Gotcha.
I'm just saying. So okay. Um they talk about the casino night that's coming up. Mary hasn't spoken to Jen since New York, but and you know they apologize. They settle things at the reunion in New York. But a week after, Mary started seeing posts online that Jen was putting out about her and her husband.
Mhm.
And it wasn't very nice towards her husband. So Mary asks her, so she doesn't know where Mary doesn't know where her relationship with Jen is right at this moment, and she knows that she can't trust her.
Mhm.
So Mary asks what happened at the ice fishing, and Meredith relays what happens. And Meredith just says that this was the last straw for her, and that if anything else happens, she's done. And I can't say that I blame her,
Mm.
but at least she's giving it one more go around. This is when Whitney and Angie meet for lunch. They seem like Whitney seems to get along with everybody, or at least tries to.
She does.
Um, let's see. And this is where it comes up that 5 hours after having meeting up with Lisa at Sarah Jane's house, she gets an email from her caterer for the big event saying that they have to cancel. Now, you
Yeah.
said that you heard during this lunch with Whitney that that Lisa's assistant's name
Yes.
came up. See, I
Right.
missed that. I missed it.
Because it's in the
Um,
text.
mhm. See, because here's the thing. She let Whitney read it, and the way how it came over to me was Whitney was just assuming that Lisa has something to do with it because of the timeline, the chain of events that
Yes.
happened.
Right. But when,
And
but sorry, but in the
uh-huh.
text it says, you know, this has happened. Lisa's assistant contacted us and blah 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 blah. And then Whitney, that's when Whitney drew her conclusion. Because what it
Mm-hmm.
was is because that's why Whitney asked, like, wait a minute, so when did you get this text? And she's all 5 hours after Lisa and I spoke. And she's like, yep.
See, because I made a note here. Whitney says that it's Lisa because Lisa does business with that caterer and is trying to sabotage the event. But in my notes, I don't have anything about that part about Lisa's assistant at this first luncheon. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch that over again
Yeah.
because Lisa's assistant came up for me at the party when she was in the Muppet outfit.
Gotcha. But yeah, the reason why I'm pretty confident that the Lisa's assistant was mentioned in the text that Whitney read, or that good stuff, is because without Lisa being involved, there's no context to the conversation. Like Lisa, without Lisa's involvement, there would be no reason to have that scene. That's just the way. That's just the way I. That's just the way it came. That's
Mm-hmm.
just the way it fits for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
Montana, Montana, Montana.
When
Good
Lisa
catch.
came to the party, she implied that there wouldn't be food. Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that too. So
Mhm.
that's another nail in the coffin that sets us up for the final meeting between Angie and Lisa.
Uh, Quick
Hmm.
question: are you guys referring to the comment when she comes in, gets a drink? It's like, there's nothing worse than coming to a party with no food. Is that the comment that you guys are talking about?
Yes, because
Okay. Yes.
it's when
Comes
she goes
in.
to greet Jenny and
Mhm.
Whitney is right next to Jenny and she ignores Whitney to greet
Right.
Jenny and it's right after that it says I have a note here. Did Lisa say that there's nothing worse than a party with no food?
Yep.
She planned it. Oh my
Because my thing
god.
was like, there's food right there though. There's like the hors d'oeuvres and the food looked good too.
Mhm. Mhm. Um, let's see.
Thanks, Montana. Okay, so I heard that right. I was like, did you just really
Mm-hmm.
just say that without even going all the way in? Interesting that would be the first thing to pop into your head.
Well, she's an idiot. So the party's in full string. I could not believe Coach Shaw got a night off from his real family to attend with Jen. Stuart probably had the night off, so had to make do
Hmm.
with Coach. Coach also made a comment. Coach, when he was at the table, the
Hmm.
gaming table, he made a comment about hoping things stay even or something like that. Did you catch that comment?
He said something. It was kind of muffled for me. I kind of really wasn't paying attention at that point, but I do recall him saying something to that effect, like, "I hope everything stays kind of even."
Yet he says, Coach says that he didn't have enough of these easy nights.
Okay.
That's what he was saying. Child. What's that mean? That he doesn't
Like,
get enough nights at home with his other family?
I think it's just like It sounds like they're fighting, or there's a lot of bickering. That's the way I took it, because I thought he said these even nights, but since you said he's
It's
saying
easy
easy,
nights.
that tells me
Mm-hmm.
like there's some, like, there must be some fighting going on.
Mm. Child. There's a lot going on at this party. Um, so everybody's arrived. Even
Yes.
Mary's. I liked Mary's outfit. That gold knitted sequin, like, wow,
Hmm.
she just take off that wig.
Yeah.
But that gold out, I liked Mary's outfit.
Hmm.
We see Angie's husband addresses the crowd and thanks them for coming. And then a CEO or somewhere the other donates $1 million to the cause. What?
Right.
Where? Can I apply for a job at that company?
Exactly.
Then we see Jen going and sitting next to Mary as if nothing has
Nothing that
happened.
happened.
But Mary's not letting her off that easy. I like how she handled Jen. Instead of like going balls to the wall like Meredith, she just said, explained herself. I thought we made up at the reunion. Week later, you talking smack about me. What's the
Hmm.
deal? And of course, Jen goes with, I don't know what you're talking about. That wasn't me. If you don't know what she's talking about, then how can it not be you?
Correct.
Just saying. But Mary says that the trust has been burned. But they do a little pinky thing, and they agree that if they have issues, they'll come to each other.
Hmm.
Sure. Um,
I think Black Lavender said earlier in the chat.
uh-huh.
He's like, I wonder, where's it at? Give me 1 second. So okay, I was wondering the same thing. I really, really was. Mary Cosby and Jen Shaw moment of understanding has me wondering how long that truce is gonna last. It'll last
Till
about
the end of
three
the
days.
party.
3 days.
Till the end of the party, when she's going home in the car with Coach Shaw. And then he leaves in the Uber to go to the other family, and she's at home by herself with her Twitter. Let's see. So it's at this point that Angie pulls Lisa aside to talk, and she's in this Muppet outfit. Oh God. You know what I kept focusing on was if the feathers were gonna get stuck to sweat under her armpit.
Mhm.
I have nothing else better to do with my life. Um, and Angie addresses Lisa about the caterers pulling out and said that she got a message saying that Lisa's assistant called so that they had to pull out. Lisa denies it. And then it comes out that she does have a problem with Angie being friends with Whitney. And Lisa kind of walks away. And during all of this, the other women come in, with the exception of Mary. So we saw Jen wander in. We saw Meredith wander in.
Mm-mm.
Whitney come.
No, that's
It
not what happened.
wasn't.
Remember what happened. They were Angie asked Lisa if she had a problem with her being friends with Whitney, and then Angie brings up the fact. Uh,
Yeah,
Angie
because she goes and
asked
gets
Lisa
Meredith. Yeah.
asked Lisa how's your friendship with Meredith?
And are you sure?
How is your friendship with Jen affecting yours and Meredith's
Mm-hmm.
friendship? It's fine. It's fine. Oh my God. And she runs against Meredith. Meredith, here you come in here. Like, don't you ask, don't you question our friendship and ask her, like, do you have a problem with Lisa
Mm-hmm.
being friends with Jen? Meredith said, do you have a problem with it? No. But did it hurt at first? Yes. And
Mm-hmm.
then, but we're good now. But remember, Angie says, like, okay. I'm like, so do you and Meredith talk? That's what that gave me. Because when Angie
Mm-hmm.
said, okay, I'm
I
like,
remember her saying, "Are you sure?"
or something to the effect,
Yeah,
like,
she goes,
do
and
you,
that's when she ran out and got married and said,
that's
"See,
the
we're
first.
friends."
But that's the first, no, that's the first part. Remember, after she brought Meredith in
Mm-hmm.
and they had the conversation with all of them there, and then she asked Angie, asked them again.
Mm-hmm.
And Meredith said, yeah, we're fine. And this when Angie's like, okay. I'm like, who's been talking, or are you and Meredith talking? Because
It's probably Whitney giving her,
the
tittle
way,
tattle.
well, the thing is though, is the way. Well, here's the thing though. I don't think that way. Here's the reason why. We have to remember,
Mm-hmm.
Whitney and Angie are pretty new to each other, even if they are cousins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lisa and Angie have been friends for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa's been friends with Jenny for 10 years. Lisa's been friends with Meredith around 10 to 12 years or so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it stands to reason to me that and Meredith would also be good friends. So I wonder if
Mhm.
Meredith and Ange have talked about. I wonder if Meredith has vented to
Oh,
Ange about her issues with Lisa.
I think Meredith has vented to a lot of people regarding her
Hmm.
disappointment in Lisa and then her breakdown with Jen.
Yes.
I think that's true. Um, I like how Jen came into the room and sat down and said not a word.
She was
And
just
she
happy
was
he
just
wasn't
like,
focused on her.
exactly. And Whitney comes in, didn't like the bangs, and she sits down and she's quiet. And Lisa's like, "What are you doing in here?" or something like that.
Whitney, what are you doing here?
Yeah, it's
It was
kind
weird.
of weird. Um anyway, um they they go through their back and forth, and I loved it that Whitney perfectly narrated the whole last part, and she called it the PhD in Lisa's behavior. When Lisa's screaming, that means that she's challenged. When Lisa starts crying, she doesn't want to deal with it. When Lisa walks away, she's guilty. And what did I write here? She's guilty and been caught red-handed. Okay, so, and this is narrated as Lisa is screaming, and they cut to Whitney saying it. Then she starts crying, and Whitney cuts to saying it, and then she walks away. Whitney's saying it. Oh my God.
Gotta love production.
PhD in the behavior with the video clips
Evidence.
to back it up. Jesus Christ. And
Hmm.
it's so true. It's so
Hmm.
true. We've seen this over and over again. Even at the reunion, she did the screaming, she started crying, and then she walked off.
Yep. And in that order.
Wow. So wait, okay. When Lisa is asked, "What has Whitney ever done to you?" She says some mumbled garbage. Did she say that Whitney and Heather are always attacking her and always lying about her?
Hmm. They've annihilated her
When?
character.
When?
They flash back to the reunion,
But those
which
were
was
true.
yeah.
Okay. Child, that's how it ends with poor little Lisa running out and Whitney getting a PhD in this mess.
This was a great episode. This was so much fun.
Okay, so wait a minute. Last season, when did it start going downhill? Episode 3?
But see, here's the thing: 3, 4. Well, we got mad at Jen because she kept repeating the same argument over and over. So we were pissed at her then. But then we had to remember, production changed around episode 7.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a whole different. I think they're using the same production company they used at the end of last season.
Okay.
They did a really good job.
I like it. Like I like the editing on Potomac and
Mhm.
Salt Lake City so far,
Mhm.
because it gives a comedic relief in between all of the nya, 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 nya.
Right. And you know what they're doing? They're not keeping the same arguments going. Like the whole they put the
Mhm,
Brooks thing to bed already,
mhm,
which is good. So they're not
mhm.
they learn from last season and the critique. So this is really good. And I like so far I like Angie and I like Sarah Jane. I would like to see more of them. But like we said, 7 wives, 2 good friends. And what did they do? They added 1 wife And we have two so far. We have two good friends. Bravo! I need you to keep thinking about this. Keep on this path.
But is it possible that a friend can go after a snowflake holder?
Yeah.
Wow. Angie really working for that snowflake. Jesus. Okay. Well, guys, let us know. This season is better than New York, Atlanta, and BH and Beverly Hills combined. Really? You didn't think that Beverly Hills was good? Like, New York and Atlanta were trash. But Beverly Hills is good, Montana. At least.
But I think what Montana is saying is that New York and Atlanta being such trash just drags BH down, drags on the overall score.
Really?
Yeah, they could have just not had those seasons, and I've been completely fine. I would have rather watched the rerun seasons of Ladies of London than watch Atlanta and New York this season.
And here's how sad this is. Have we all forgotten how bad OC was?
Oh no, that's historic. So we don't have to mention them. That was historic trash.
But it's
I
ironic that they've suspended production on Dallas, which really wasn't that bad in
no
comparison to OC, but OC is only on a like hiatus.
right, and we still haven't got Miami on Peacock yet. What's wrong with y'all?
They're delayed on everything because they haven't got
Yeah,
the Housewives champions thing from Turks and Caicos. What is that
right.
called? The
All stars basically.
All Stars. Okay. Yeah. Goodness. Okay. Oh, why y'all ain't tell me to like the episode? Dad, go in and give us some thumbs up, and somebody please give us an extra subscription. Somebody sub to us so that we can get to 600. Yes, I'm begging. It's pathetic, but it's okay. Guys, we love you for hanging in with us this late in the evening. We really appreciate it. Jamal, thank you so much for being here. Mods, y'all were the best tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Um, and hello to everyone on the replay crew. Better late than never. Sorry. So these were our recaps of the Real Housewives of Potomac and the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Beverly Hills is kind of blah and repetitive this year. Uh, Forgot OC. What does that tell you? Yes, I
Yeah,
agree with
trash.
you. I agree with you.
With OC, it's so funny they got rid of the problematic cast, but they were the best thing about the show, which was trash. So what does that tell you that
Wait,
we're left with?
you thought that the lady that was leaving her husband for the woman was the best thing that happened to the show?
No, I'm saying they're the best things about the show.
That
They gave
yeah,
you the
about
most.
that season.
Yeah,
Really? I found
yes.
her annoying. I can't even
But
remember
look,
her name right now. What was her name?
Bronwyn.
Bronwyn.
But here's
Yes.
the thing, though. Bronwyn and Kelly has a personality. Elizabeth came on a season or two too soon. That was Bravo's fault. And then, but we're left with Shannon, Emily, and Gina. That's
But we're
who you're
bringing back
leaving me
your
with.
favorites.
Of course. But I'm just saying, but before we found it out officially, those were the three you're getting. Really? That's the best you could do? That's the best you could
Well,
do?
they follow instructions, whereas Kelly doesn't and Bronwyn
No,
doesn't either.
no. But you're bringing back Fancy Pants, and hopefully the chick,
Yes.
hopefully the chick, whose husband's getting sued for 5 mil, hopefully that she'll be good.
What's her name again? The lady
Noella.
that's Noella. So she's divorcing him, right?
That's what. At last check, yes. But they're still short cast though. They still need two more wives, in my opinion.
Does the production company for OC understand, and New York, and who else? The majority of these
Atlanta.
franchises, do they understand the definition of housewife is? You have to be married.
Well, I don't go by that, and here's why. When OC first started, Joe wasn't married, Lori wasn't married. So when people say that, I kind of throw that to the, I poo poo that. No,
Joe was actually living with Slade, though. I'll
yes,
give her that.
But
And
Lori was,
engaged.
but Lori
Lori
was
was
single.
divorced. Yeah.
Lori was
Yeah.
divorced, living in a townhouse, working for Vicky.
But we
Bethany wasn't
needed
married.
somebody, right? But we need, because I was just going to equate Lori first season with Bethany, you know, caught some tough breaks, struggling, trying to get their stuff together.
Hmm.
You always need somebody who's on the come up and hungry, in my
Hmm.
opinion, to add some spice to these established ladies who
I go with
might be
that.
sitting a little bit too pretty and don't know what their husband's doing.
Right.
So
Just saying.
yeah, that was a good. I like that. Oh, I don't know. Hey, Kelly Swat. Not best, just most interesting with storylines.
Right.
I didn't
That's
find
fair.
Bronwyn's storyline interesting.
Here's
I
the reason
found
why
it
with Bronwyn.
confused, and I thought she was at a really bad place with her drinking that should not have, like, I thought she should have been off focusing on
Hmm.
that because it
Bronwyn
looked
wanted
she
to
was
be famous.
struggling.
Bronwyn wanted to be
Oh.
famous. Bronwyn was attention seeking. Instead of just being Bronwyn and living her life, because her life overall is interesting, and
Mhm.
having like 5,500 children is interesting, and her husband, who we all have a threesome apartment, that's interesting. Instead of just living your life, you got caught in trying to be famous, and they got you kicked off because you were just doing way too much. Just saying.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. Well, that is that.
Yep.
Guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We love you for staying up with us tonight. And we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, if there's no more glitches
Right.
with StreamYard. We'll see you tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. We're going to be talking about who? Mama's Boy. I
Mama's
love a Mama's
boy.
Boy. I have
Yes.
to watch that. Have you watched it already?
Nope. Watching it tonight.
Oh, God. All right, guys. Have a great night. Jamal, do you have any final thoughts?
Nope. Everyone sleep well, and again, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your patience
Mhm.
and understanding, and thank you for getting us so close to 600. We're almost there, and then from there we'll be trekking to 700. So we'll see just how it goes. But thank you all
Mhm.
so much.
All right. Oh, and we should be getting a community page by mid-month.
Yes, I'm excited for that.
Good. Then you can figure it out and you can manage it.
Pretty much. I kind of get how they work. I kind of get how they work, so it'll be fun.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Until next time, Jamal.
Of course. Bye.
Bye.